Alright. Let's go, everybody. We got Basilisk Gaming, SERRAL in the bottom right going for the Extractor trick, and in the top left, MAXPAX for Storm Gaming. It's a best of 3 from the Masters Coliseum group stage. And that tells us that SERRAL is going to go 15 hatch, 15 pool, which is awesome for him because MAXPAX is trying to block the expansion, but I don't think he sent it early enough to block it. You're going to see SERRAL's going to be at 300 minerals in a second. And that is bad for MAXPAX. Tries to block it. That hatchery gets down so early, though. And if they send the probe across, they're sacrificing resources trying to deny that hatchery. But you've got your hatchery very early by default, and this puts SERRAL in a very nice position. I think the way he executes this build in ZvP especially is incredibly elegant, and I really love the way he does it. So he Extractor tricks out another 15th drone. He goes for an Overlord, and then he'll go for the spawning pool up next. MAXPAX, of course, just being annoying with his probe harass here. Does bounce a drone around here or there. But SERRAL's been pretty good on his counter micro so far. You can see the way MAXPAX kind of bounces between the different patches, just trying to be as annoying as he can. And behind it, MAXPAX so far is doing a very standard build order. Ooh, SERRAL losing the micro war a little bit, but no massive disruptions. Next is going to go down behind this one. MAXPAX will then wall off with a Cyber Core as well. And you can see already 3 on gas tells us he wants to go Stargate. Very unlikely he'll be playing a ground-based build with the focus on gas over minerals. That's because the Stargate obviously costs 150 gas, a Twilight and a Robo only costs 100, and an Oracle costs 150 gas as well. Oh! SERRAL with the double team surround! Oh, I didn't realize that was Johnny Sins right there. Oh my lord, that drone just went hard. Anyways, that was kind of brutal, man. Very well done. Obviously, you don't expect that to ever happen, but SERRAL just realized the drone that was running out had the ability to trap it with the edge of the hatchery, and they did actually block it from getting out of there, so not too bad, man. Not too bad. That was actually a very good little opportunistic thing. MAXPAX is not expecting it. If he'd looked, he could have easily mineral walked out of it, but probably just got the attack warning, thought he took a single hit, and that the probe would just waltz out of there. Stargate does go down here for MAXPAX. You got to realize, in ZvP, MAXPAX, I always feel like against SERRAL, plays a very solid game. But I actually think Showtime probably does a better job of countering SERRAL. I don't think he's good enough at finishing the game versus SERRAL, which is Showtime's big issue historically. But MAXPAX, the problem he runs into against SERRAL is SERRAL always comes in with these tricky plans. I really feel SERRAL has great respect for MAXPAX. He sees him as a threat and has been studying him for a long time. And every time I see them play, it feels like SERRAL is 1 or 2 steps ahead. Like MAXPAX comes out with his very solid PvZ, and SERRAL comes out with a plan to specifically dismantle his style of PvZ. And I'm like, oh, damn, man. Like I feel like if SERRAL just played standard, he would lose to MAXPAX a lot. But he never does play standard against him. He always makes these little adaptations. Now, that was a mistake there for SERRAL, not running the drone away. He does lose a drone to the adept, so not a bad start. Does make up for that probe he lost earlier. Second gateway is going to go down on the natural, completing the wall off, and the Oracle will allow that Stalker to finish picking off that Overlord. Overlord tried to escape there, but it's going to force the Oracle down at least. At least he sees that it's an Oracle. And Overlord does go down. SERRAL is slightly supply blocked, but notice he knew that was going to go down, so he's already building 2 extra Overlords. It'll only be a few seconds of supply block at most. Not too big a deal. Spore Crawler is going up in the main very late. Those 2 queens better stay in position. And they do get back in position, not bad. Third hatchery is always a little bit late with the 15 hatch 15 pool, but your natural was filled with drones so much earlier. You've got plenty of queens, spores, and that third base will fill up very quickly. Oh, queens just a slight bit out of position. Good dance for MAXPAX. Gets 3 drones. I think that's well worth letting your Oracle get down into the orange hit points. Third Nexus coming up behind it into a quick 3rd and 4th gas, as well as a 2nd and a 3rd Oracle on the way. It looks like the Twilight Forge will go down behind it. Very standard play for MAXPAX. No special source for him. That being said, SERRAL doesn't have any special source yet either. So as much as I've talked about SERRAL kind of countering the man and adapting to the player, looks like he's playing pretty standard. 6 queens, 7th one on the way, droning up, going the Evo chamber for the melee. Looks like a very standard Ravagerling Bane setup. Roach Warren's on the way now. It's a pretty late one at 4 minutes 50, but still gives you a bit of safety for those like 6-minute timings that can come. SERRAL's scouting's actually a little bit lower than normal. But because he's seen a lot of oracles, I think he feels okay. Adepts are going to dive, but the Ling Queen is actually well positioned. I like the positioning from MAXPAX, though. He tries to shuffle forward. Doesn't quite get too much, though. Oracle in the back looks like it's stasis trapped only a single drone. Those two oracles couldn't find an opening. It's about as good a split as you can get there for SERRAL. That being said, despite that, SERRAL's only even on workers, right? He's not ahead. And interestingly, charge first. Oh, charge first. Wait, 4 gas charge. That means he's going to play Charge.Archon. Robo's on the way as well. You need a Warp Prism with this style because the ability to get Zealots and Archons in the main is huge. Oracles do a bit of a flyby. And they're going to get some frequent drone murder miles. Something that you can always get your Protoss frequent drone murdering miles to get a lot of awesome rewards as a Protoss player. Here they have a nice backpack you can trade it in for. Store your Zergling wings as your trophies. The trophy case. Templar Archives is on the way. That's going to allow him to go Archon straight to 6 gas as well. And SERRAL at this point, seeing not that many Zerglings, he's going to start to worry. He's like, wait, what's going on here? What are you doing? What are you up to? Now he's going to see more Zealots warping in. He knows what he's up against. Oracle's flying in on the bottom. He already distracted in the top right. This Oracle comes in and gets a drone. These guys... Oh, they actually could go for those drones. SERRAL's like, whoa! Thank God that didn't get caught. The Oracle's going to come back now. SERRAL is 70 drones versus 68. He's only got a few Zerglings for defense. MAXPAX has not really scared him. I'd love MAXPAX to have run out with the Zealots slightly earlier and scared him, but it looks like he's waiting for the Archons, and that means those Zerglings come in, look for a Zealot kill. They're not quite able to get it. Charge finally kicks in. Zergling cleans up a random probe on the left side. Prism going towards the main base. 4th Nexus under assault. A few Zealots will go over to help clean that up. SERRAL's very good at just catching MAXPAX not looking. A random Zealot gets picked off. The Zerglings go in, the Zerglings go out. Roach is on the way. We've got an infestation of Bailey Nest, whereas it's a second Robo and a Robo Bay for MAXPAX. So Hive up against Disruptor production. Mass Queen ready in the main. They're going to spread some creep over there as well to make sure they can cover the edges. Roaches try to come forward. Roach speed not quite done yet. It does feel like SERRAL was a little light on units at this stage. It definitely feels like he just kind of knows MAXPAX is going to play greedy and is able to play greedy himself. It feels like SERRAL knows MAXPAX's range as a player and is kind of saying, yeah, you're going to play standard. You're not going to take any big risks. Because if any of this exploded suddenly into a big surprise attack, or if he was a bit better at denying information, it would be really good. But as it is, SERRAL sees everything, man. Overseer comes in. That's gonna come down to the natural and see the second Robo and the Robo Bay. Or he's already seen the Robo Bay, in fact. Zealot Archon on the front. He's using stasis traps to try and fight this. Cleans up the front Zerglings. Don't want to stay too long, though. Prism's still ready to go into that main. The Queen's in nearby. You got to be careful. SERRAL's so quick at how fast he reacts. Oh, he's distracted at the front this time, though. MAXPAX may have actually got some very big damage that time. Zealot Archon coming in on the front. Lings focus the stasis down. They actually don't quite do it in time. It does end up getting taken out just before it fires. The Zealots in the main doing pretty well. Looks like the Prism, did it die? No, the Prism survives there, but it warped in a few more Zealots. Queens are going down in the main base. Nice play. There's only 2 Queens left. That means his mobile anti-air is gone. These Zealots taking a fantastic trade. The other Zealot Archon still kind of posturing around. They could have maybe poked in for a snipe on this 5th base, but Zealots do get recalled there. Very nicely done. 8 more drones on the way in the midst of this. SERRAL does have a lot of roaches, so I guess he knows he's not really in danger of dying. He's putting 17 more workers right now. SERRAL is being so greedy in the midst of this. What a great read. So many Zergs would be reeling from this multi-prong and worrying about the next step. SERRAL's like, nah, man, I know he's just using this to get a big economy. So I'm going to get an even bigger economy. And SERRAL maintains an okay position. He's building 4 Queens, +2 melee, +1 range. That being said, MAXPAX still has a forward position, a frontal position. SERRAL accidentally morphs Banelings on the front using his hotkey. That was a mistake. The Roaches, the Ravagers coming in, sets off another stasis trap with those Zerglings. These drones are exposed, and he cannot lose this base. He just built 95 workers. You don't want to lose this base. Zealots running on the south, but there's plenty of Roaches to deal with. The Queens do deflect in the main base at the same time, but it's up here at the 5th, where the main army is. That's where SERRAL's in a little bit of trouble, but he takes out an Archon. Looks like he's going to take out another one. Pretty good trade there for SERRAL. Does deflect MAXPAX in 3 areas at once. There's 3 Colossus out. 4th and 5th are on the way right now. So MAXPAX is going for a 5 Colossus ground-pounding army of doom. He's got +2 attack almost finished as well. The Roach Ravager's starting to get cleaned up a little. A few more Zealots warping in on the south side for the multi-prong. MAXPAX is trying to stretch SERRAL's attention, but the Archons keep going down, and that's giving SERRAL efficiency. You can see it in the units lost tab. He's defending the Zealots and the Prism really well. That being said, that main base is wide open. If MAXPAX keeps looking for it, he will potentially eventually find it. Stasis trapping some of those units. Oh, SERRAL doesn't quite get the Colossus. He's going to have to back off now. Those stasis traps holding him back. Storm's on the way, as well as a bunch of High Templar gathering energy. Zealot drop comes in again, man. The activity level of both of these players, none of it is all in. It's just constant poking and prodding and looking for mistakes and forcing your opponent to multitask and applying that pressure. But neither player is crumbling under that pressure. They are both stepping up to the mark and absolutely handling it just fine. The only worry I have for MAXPAX is that he's only been in the mid-70s. He probably felt like with the aggression he was exerting, this is a good enough economy. But SERRAL actually was so greedy going into the 90s. Yeah, he's down to 83 now. And it is a very heavy roach army. It's almost pure roach, in fact. MAXPAX, his army is nearby. Loses a cannon and a few of these things, but not too much. Gotta watch out for the... Yeah, there's not enough army for SERRAL to even recall. For a second, I was like, you have to watch out for the abduct. Then I was like, into what? 15 roaches? That's not going to do anything. That's not even a scary army. Keep in mind, SERRAL recently struggled against Classic in Gamers 8 because he doesn't know what carapace upgrades are in this matchup. Carapace upgrades are very low value in Zerg vs Protoss, but if your opponent has a Colossus army that they keep alive all game, these guys do 2 attacks that don't do that much damage. But he was playing against Classic in a long game where Classic got +3 on the Colossus. SERRAL had no carapace upgrades even at 40-50 minutes into the game, and he kept losing lots of army because of it. And it's like one of those things where those carapace upgrades, the longer the game goes, they will add value even if they are a bit lower priority. So I'd like to see him add those when he's maxed out his melee upgrades here. We've got roaches running in on the south side as well. Zealot drop in the main. Zealot's going to the natural as well. Roaches running in towards that base. The Zealots warping in there. Baneling, Ravager doing what they can. Oh, big size storms! Those Banelings do clear most of the Archons though, which is something. A few Biles land on the Colossus, but they are still reasonably healthy. Zealots in the back doing all right. MAXPAX's Prism activity level is so good. The Zealot cannon trying to defend. He needs Dark Templar there. He doesn't have a Dark Shrine though. His army on the front is killed the Hatchery, which is pretty nice. His Prism though, he's left it there. Okay, he's rotating back into the main base. He's going to recall. I think that's a good choice for MAXPAX. He kills the 5th base. He recalls. SERRAL, does he take out the Colossus? No. And look at that. Even roaches go down pretty quickly when there's 5 Colossus. Obviously not their specialty, but it can work out. Massling hits the top. MAXPAX needs to get there right now. Big Zealot warp in, but no, he doesn't have the money. He doesn't have the money. Oh my god, is he going to lose his 5th? Great knowledge for SERRAL to realize that he could dive right here. I really thought there was no opportunity to counterattack, but MAXPAX, his whole army recalled to the bottom left. There was nothing there, and that is a beautiful snipe. SERRAL has a new 5th base in the top anyway. He's rebuilding that one. So he's popping himself straight back to 6 bases. Meanwhile, MAXPAX is back to 4. MAXPAX needs a 5th. He needs a 6th base in the near future. And Units Lost tab is still almost dead even. 77 resources difference. These two players are very evenly matched. Zealots coming in the south. You'd actually like the Hatchery to go down personally, just so you could cancel it straight away, get a bit more value. But cleaning up some drones and Zerglings, not too bad. Broodlords are almost done though, and this is where this game changes, because the Broodlords are going to have the range advantage over this. So much going on at once in this game, man. So much. Broodlords coming forward. Broodlords coming forward! Watch out! Okay. Psystorm goes down, but you got to get out of there now. Gonna have to back away as MAXPAX. He does have Blink, so he was somewhat prepared for this. Ooh, 2 of the Immortals get abducted. High Templar left just standing out there. What are they doing? 2 of the High Templar get taken out. Looks like they weren't on the control group or something. Something derpy happening with MAXPAX army control there. And I am curious, is he going to go air or will he stay on ground? He's making Archons and Plasma Shield upgrades right now. But MAXPAX has been very slow on that. And that's a problem. Because Broodlings have +3 melee. He is, by the way, adding Carapace, which is awesome to see. But +3 melee Broodlings do 7 damage a hit. And those Archons are going to be taking the full 7 with no shield upgrades. Roach Baneling. Oh, here we go. Stasis Trap's trying to go down. There's one on the left. Doesn't quite get set off. The Banelings are on top. Stasis Trap catches some of the Roach Ravager. MAXPAX, though, he's a little outnumbered right now. He split a big army to the bottom side, but the Broodlords are dealing with that. The Roach Viper trying to deal with these army on the top. That Colossus does get taken out. Nice Zealot Warping to try to deal with it. There's still some Lings there. Look like they denied one of the base expansion attempts. Broodlords will push this army back. MAXPAX, if he had a pack of Stalkers, he could get on top of those Broodlords. Instead, though, he's going to push the north here. The Roach Ravager comes out of the stasis, and it actually sets up for a bit of a surround. Immortal gets abducted. Broodlords come north. Army attacks back on the south. Single Archon versus 2 Broodlords. How often do you see this interaction? Not every day, right? but the Archon's already taken a beating, and the Broodlords do manage to start to step it down. Nice micro for SERRAL there. The fact that SERRAL micro that while holding onto his bases at the top was very impressive, and his unit's lost time is now 3,000 resources in favor. I really do love a ground player splitting their army up like that and going for it. I actually think it can work very well, but you need your Warp Prisms reinforcing on the front. If you can have a Warp Prism or a forward gateway or something, and a Warp Prism in the back, that's where the Zerg gets really stretched out and struggles to deal with this sort of split of the Protoss army. As it was, SERRAL was able to split to just 2 locations just fine. Oh my lord, 22 probes! MAXPAX has been the one pressuring all game long. A Baneling run by comes in and ruins his day! Oh, even more kills going down. And up there as well. Oh no, MAXPAX was going toe-to-toe with SERRAL for 15 minutes. And at minute 16, SERRAL says, no economy for you, mate. Rolls those Banelings in. You know, Protoss players who have been defending all game are so good at stopping that. But when they've been attacking all game, they haven't had to deal with it. Their guard's down. That's when SERRAL struck and he caught him off guard. Zealots are going to split into that top base on the very top right of our screen, but you can see he's losing High Templar Stalkers. The Fungal doing very well to catch those units. And it just feels like SERRAL is all over this game. He's got another mass Ling run by ready on the bottom as well. He is holding on so nicely on 71 workers. He's got Neuroparasite plus 2 Carapace on the way as well. MAXPAX has been defended. A fantastic back and forth game for a long time. But that hold with the Broodlords was just a bit too efficient. He adds the Baneling run by behind it, and SERRAL takes out game 1. All right, guys, going into map 2. SERRAL with a very nice winning game 1. MAXPAX through the kitchen sink at him. Lots of Zealot, multi-prong and stuff, but very difficult to break through SERRAL. The man's like a rock. Now, once again, MAXPAX comes for the block. SERRAL this time around has gone 13 Overlord, so he's going to have to take a third base. He was hoping that MAXPAX wouldn't want to block him, because he showed him 15 hatch in game 1. So SERRAL here was saying, you won't try to block me this time. I'll be able to get a 16 hatchery down, which I actually prefer in this matchup. So SERRAL actually loses the little build order opening dance this time around. MAXPAX just says, nope, there is no way I'm letting you get a standard 16 hatchery on your expansion. And SERRAL's going to have to take that third base. Gateway into gas, chrono boosting the probes, all solid standard stuff so far. Now, I really wonder... I really wonder kind of what you're thinking there as MAXPAX. Do you think just get a Prism in the back? Does he just need to add some Blink Stalkers a bit earlier? Because I really feel there's the moment where the opponent gets 9 Broodlords, and you have Storm, you have 5 Colossus. Do you really need to multi-prong? Why not just A-move your way through the Broodlords? Right? If you think about it, if you just warp in 10, 12 Stalkers, that's enough to deal with the Broodlords. And all you need to do is just A-move, storm the crap out of the Banes, the Ravagers. Your Colossus can just A-move their way through the Broodlings very quickly. And then once you break through the ground army, your Stalkers can blink on top and kill the Broodlords. So I actually feel like a lot of the times we look at the Broodlords as this unstoppable force. And when there's like 13, 14 Broodlords and 6 Infestors, sure. When there's just 9 Broodlords and a bunch of Lings, Banes, Roaches, and Ravagers, it's not that good an army in terms of overall quality. So perhaps there was a timing available to MAXPAX that he simply did not realize. All right, drone's going to be moving down here. Probe's going to pull towards that expansion, just confirms what's going on. Stargate on the way. Very standard opening. Nothing too crazy. MAXPAX is chronoing an adept, though. I'd like to see a double adept pressure. He's already queued up the second adept. Do we see a second chrono? Come on, you know you want to, MAXPAX. Yeah, all right. He's going to put on the pressure. Let's see how SERRAL handles this. I always feel having your third out there is really rough against the double adept pressure. But Babylon's also a reasonably small map as well. Adepts sliding on forward, seeing what they can do. Coming in towards that third base. Queen's coming out to land some hits on that Adept. Adept's going to slide right on by. And the Ling does get picked off. Nicely done. Queen hitting that. For those tuning in live, oh, this is Group A. This must have been played forever ago. This is like 2 days ago from when I'm casting it, guys. Maybe 3 days at most. The groups are not played in order for Masters Coliseum. This is a group stage round robin match, so don't worry, guys. None of these matches will ruin the results of the rest of the tournament for you. You play everyone in the group stage no matter what. Ooh, good positioning by SERRAL. He already gets an adept for just 3 Zerglings. Yeah, this is not working out the way MAXPAX intended. I mean, he's forced a lot of Zerglings, which is in of itself not too bad, but he's got to be careful. Has to wall off now. Let's see if that Oracle can find some follow-up. Yeah, I'm just dealing with my daily dose of people coming into my channel during my best games of StarCraft stream and saying, oh, are these games live? Oh, I wish they were live. I want more live games. Unfortunately, much like with live sporting events, you get a lot of bad ones if you watch them live. The best games we pick specifically because we know they're the best. Haha! It's this crazy thing we do by casting them from replays after the fact. It's awesome. Keep in mind as well, a lot of people have been asking about the balance changes. They're being tested right now on a mod. So they won't be in tournaments for at least another month, I would guess. Probably longer than that. Even I watching that last game was like, oh, it's the new Infestor. And I kind of had to catch myself and not say that because I was like, well, no, it's not. Just because I've been screwing around with the new Infestor in custom games doesn't mean tournaments are being played on that just yet. Oracle's coming forward. Overall damage doesn't look too good, but keep in mind, SERRAL's had to build a lot of defense, so he's just overtaken MAXPAX on drones now. Small work elite fam. What I find weird is that MAXPAX is building Phoenix. I do not understand. I do not understand this choice. Why is there a Void Ray into single Phoenix production? What is the purpose of this, guys? There's no second Stargate. He's just making adepts, probing, and building... Wait, where is the second Stargate? Oh, there is a second Stargate. I'm blind. Never mind. There it is. I was like, it doesn't make sense to make Phoenix unless you're going 2 Stargate Phoenix. You're not going to get enough to do anything. Okay, I'm blind. Double Stargate Phoenix is a very cute follow-up. There's 6 queens with 2 more on the way, though. Does SERRAL realize what's up? He's already seen a Void Ray. Oh, he gets a shield battery snipe as well. That should have been cancelled. MAXPAX struggling to deal with just how annoying SERRAL's being right now. Oh, those probes are all a bit exposed also. The Void Ray went across the map. The queens did deflect it. SERRAL's playing very safe. He's building roaches and queens right now, 56 drones, because he doesn't know what's happening. SERRAL is like, what the hell are you doing right now? Why are there so few units visible? Why are you building zealots? I like the zealot warp in because it makes SERRAL think maybe there's a charge zealot timing coming. He cancels his spores. He canceled his spores, guys. So I don't think he realizes it's Phoenix yet, but the Phoenix are just sitting out there. Those Phoenix should not be so far forward. I think MAXPAX is thinking he might be getting queen walked because there's early units coming out. He's going to have to pick up these roaches first of all, probably, and then go for the drones, I would imagine. Oh, no, he's got a Void Ray. He doesn't need to do that. He should go for the economy, probably. There's already 8 queens out with 3 more on the way, though. SERRAL's got 11 queens in the near future. Yeah, you get a few roaches. That's good. I mean, I guess SERRAL's economy is small enough it's okay, but he's building a nidus worm. He's planning a mass queen roach ravagerling nidus. That's going to be so weird, though, because SERRAL's economy sucked for a while. He finally drones up to 63 workers. Phoenix come in, get a couple more drones. Oh, almost loses a Phoenix, and he does. Bit of a micro mistake there from MAXPAX. Okay, so he's still building Phoenix and +1 air weapons. MAXPAX is going hard on the Phoenix. He's also starting to build Immortals. But look at that, Nidus Worms on the way. Oh man, Mass Queen does beat Mass Phoenix, generally speaking. There's Lings on the front as well. There might not be that many Roaches and Ravagers, but look at this. Oh, he actually catches a Queen at the front. That would be very nice, but Mass Transfuse does keep her alive. There's Phoenix. Uh-oh. There has been a Screech. The Nidus is there. Cannons and batteries are building right now. We've got the second Robo on the way. Stargate there. Okay, this is a big problem. You've only got 2 gates and a Robo, and all that production is at the front. Now a second Robo as well. MAXPAX needs to pump Immortals out of this to hold on. The battery is up. He's got a Void Ray as well. Phoenix do pick up a Ravager, but look at that. The Queens almost take it out instantly. Watch out. A Phoenix that falls there. Transfuse is keeping these Queens and Ravagers alive. That is so many Queens for SERRAL. 15 Queens. He had his finger on the pulse from the start, dude. He made so many more Queens than you're expecting. That's just set him up so well here against this big 2 Stargate Phoenix play. The Phoenix trying to pull back right now. Immortals are on the right side as well. We've got the Nidus Worm there. So much Queen Roach Ravager vomiting these units onto the Protoss side of the map. It's always a bit of a tricky play that's looking to surprise the Zerg. I don't know if it surprised Zerg or not, but I know that SERRAL's build was safe against this. He just had so many Queens on the defense, and the continued Phoenix production and the +1 air weapons can be very good at spiraling out of control if they're on the back foot. When they already have that many queens, we saw that ended up being wasted investment. If he stopped at like 7 or 8 Phoenix, transitioned harder into ground units, maybe that could have been a defense. As it was, the mass Phoenix just cannot handle that queen count. SERRAL finishes it off in very, very smooth fashion.